Okay, so today I'm going to bring you a fresh new video for Floki. Make sure you stay tuned till the end of the video because I'm going to give you a TA that's going to blow your freaking mind. And with that being said, of course, I'm the most open-minded investor / NFT artist on YouTube. The diverse appetite for risky asset classes ranging between shopping centers and shitcoins, but not government bonds, creating contact-led, family-friendly, cookie-accepting, cat-free, technical and specialized tutorials and guidelines to harness the generational wealth transfer found in crypto trading. And last, as a believer, Jesus Christ, and a fan of Gary, and an extremely well-educated and most beautiful Korean opera with hair naturally curly than the average Asian male and highly coveted by many moms and daughters, also known as Humble Kim. And today I am here with some fresh merch from Bybit. And you know what? I love this jumper at the back. I don't know if you can buy these or not. They just hooked me up, right? If you can buy them, I'll figure it out and I'll send out some links or whatever, right? And this is what it says on the back. Check it out. Anyway, this is what it says on the back. Crypto on my mind, 100% cotton, wash with diamond hands, do not FUD, trade with care. Ain't that the truth? Hell freaking yeah. Now, I really love this jumper. It feels like some velvety goodness that's touching my skin. I've never had a jumper this comfortable, and like, I ain't kidding. Like, if your skin ever has the privilege to touch the inside of this jumper, like, so good. But these guys come in like Asian sizes, so like I'll wear like an L in Australia and it's like an XL in wherever these things come from, right? So that's something to watch out for. I talk too much about my Bybit so much, but that being said, guys, isn't it time that we had Floki listed on Bybit, right? So if anyone from Bybit is watching, and I know y'all are watching because most of y'all are my friends anyway, so can you please talk to the Floki team and just get this coin listed on Bybit, please? It makes no sense that I'm making so much content on freaking Floki and I push out the exchange that doesn't even have Floki. Come on, you're killing me. Come on, let's just make it happen. And of course, for the Floki Vikings, y'all know that if we get it listed on a nice big exchange like Bybit, which as of today, CoinMarketCap exchanges, okay, on spot, we are clocking in at number 16 with $450 million in volume. And in derivatives, it is one of the leading exchanges, clocking in at number 2 in the entire world. It definitely is a fantastic exchange. Anyway, wow, I talk way too much about Bybit. I do trade a lot on Bybit. You know, I like my futures on, on Bitcoin and Ethereum. If that's the type of content that you'd like, please let me know as well, and we can talk more about that as well. But let's jump into Floki because Floki is one of my favorite coins and I love trading them, right? So in Floki, we're greeted with this tweet from Elon Musk. I say it like that because there's a guy in China who looks exactly like him. It's just uncanny.
Hi everyone, I'm Elon Musk.
So there he is, and of course Floki is right on the case saying it is amazing to see how Floki has grown since the last peak. Growing up, be such a cool and adorable Shiba. What's that look though? Okay, interesting. It's good to know that there are real people with sense of humor that are running this account, so happy days, right? So this is what's happened. Another thing that was really, I can't talk today. One other thing that really excites me is that a couple of days ago I did a video saying that if something got 1,000 votes, you might remember if you watch my videos, then they will do an AMA on the KuCoin Metaverse group. And guess what? Your prayers, your votes, happiness, not to mention just the 4 hours it being alive, like it already had 2.8K votes on it already back when I did vote for it. So it looks like that is happening. So I love that they're putting their hand where their mouth is. Is that the saying? I don't know. But I love they're actually taking things to action, which is really, really exciting to see. And without further, let's jump into the prices. Guys, this is what I want to talk about today. How exciting is this? All right, Bitcoin. All right, on the 4-hour chart, we're going to start with Bitcoin because it's kind of important. I did think that we were going to sort of like a triangular consolidation and going to dip down into those price ranges. It didn't quite end up there, okay? Now, what is interesting to see is that on the 4-hour charts, we've actually dipped below into the oversold region, but not as deeply as we would have liked to have seen to actually hit that support and make sure we trigger a buy order in our Bitcoin and things like that. And we were going to keep an eye on the price of Floki. Now, that being said, it was a tough call to make, but I think I made a pretty good call in actually estimating, price, targets. And, with cryptocurrency and with any kind of, volatile asset trading is you're going to get close and you're never going to be always on the dot. Maybe you will every now and again, but I'd say this is pretty close. I'm going to give myself a pat on the back with this one. So I think I did not too bad with this one, although it did take a little bit more time, a bit more consolidation. It was Easter break for many part of the world, so I guess maybe people just took a break and lower trading volumes and what have you. So it did crack into that zone there, okay? If we look at a 12-hour chart, we did cross out of the, this is a better RSI chart to look at for Bitcoin. So if we look at the RSI on the 12-hour chart, we actually did get out of the oversold zone, okay? And then we actually didn't actually hit it with the low that we've seen. And arguably that is a bullish divergence forming here like so, and we've actually cracked above the moving average on the RSI as well, which is again an exciting and an interesting signal to see or know that we're actually going to be in an uptrend moving forward. And you have to understand this is a short-term uptrend that we're going to see. Now, having said that, what is really important to see is look at, for example, if we look at then back out to the one-day chart. Now with the one-day chart, the trend that we're going to reverse out of this is not as strong because we want to be able to see these bullish and bearish divergences in a longer time frame. So that's what we have seen in the past. Of, you know, the longer the time frame that we're looking, the stronger the signal is going to be. So we've seen that back in November 2021 with that top there, that divergence, that bearish divergence was a strong one. We're actually not observing any of that right now. So I think that a lot of the decisions that you have to make on your trades would have to be on the shorter time frame. And having said that, I don't think our bounce here is going to be as strong as we have seen before, but it is definitely encouraging that we have actually held up this level, a rising level of support, forming higher highs and forming higher lows, as you can see here like so. But in the short term, the trend has definitely reversed, and that is certainly an encouraging time to be in, although it doesn't really look too strong for me. Now that we've looked into the market for Bitcoin, it is now time to look at Floki chart. I did make this prediction and we have come into the first zone, first price target. We've actually just touched it. I think we'll need to be looking at a little bit longer in terms of the price action as well. I think the price action can still dip a little bit lower into this as well still, because if we're looking at the RSI here, we actually haven't made a full crossover of the moving average as well. So that being said, the previous targets and the prediction here, I think still somewhat holds, and we are definitely in a bearish zone. As you can see, the price action of course doesn't particularly like hitting the 100 moving average and is staying well below that as well. And at these prices here, like I said, you got to really zoom out from the charts, and so that you understand the zone that we're in right now is a much better time to actually buy into this asset than if you were to buy it when it does bloody moon. So I think these are some good opportunities for you to be making some long-term positions as well, regardless of the near-term price actions, although it does have potential to dip a little bit further below our price action today. So there we have it, guys. That's the analysis for Floki Inu. I think what we will do, what I would personally do, is we'll be looking deeper into the dips into the oversold. And because recently some of these jumps here have been pretty significant as well, and I'm not sure if we're going to be able to see a trend so clear, like such, if we're going to have enough volatility such that we're going to be continually looking at the 4-hour RSI, because the 4-hour RSI worked really well between these times here. So from here to here. And as you can see, from here onwards, the volatility has dropped significantly. We're going to look at sideways action for a while. And that being the case, I think we may even change our model to go from 4-hour to maybe potentially 2-hour charts to identify our trade-ins. And even then, it's a little bit hard. Let's have a look at maybe 1-hour charts. Maybe I am becoming scavengy now. But this is just so that we can use the RSI as a better form of indicator to actually make our trades in and out. So obviously our trades are going to be a lot more, a lot more in and out. Let's actually have a look at this together to see where we can actually find good zones of entry and exit. Okay, and I'm still not really seeing that the RSIs dip into the zones for us to actually capture these waves here. All right, let's look further into this. 30 minutes actually didn't bring anything. So let's have a look at 5 minutes. Okay. 5 minutes is interesting. So 5 minutes, we're actually beginning to look at some dips into the oversold regions. I think 4-hour chart, I think, would remain somewhat consistent. We did have a crossover from the shorter term with the longer term MA as well. That is definitely interesting to see that the price action has fallen that hard. We are right now potentially looking at the MACD crossover as well. So we may actually have a short-term bounce from here onwards as well. So I think for those of you whose price action did activate, I don't think that you would have had this price action activated because I did set that a little bit too low, but that was because I was having a much more aggressive strategy around it. I think should be able to see some positive gains, although that dead cross there isn't looking particularly great. So I think the sideways consolidation is what we're going to see. And during those times, we may see volatilities on the downside. And I think hopefully those will be the times where you can activate some of your orders in there. And with that being said, thank you so much for tuning in today. Make sure you go like, share, and ring that notification bell so that you can stay updated with the latest and the best in crypto. Oh, and my Instagram got banned recently. So I think we're going to have to do something about that. I may come up with a backup account. So make sure you go and follow me on that new account when I do make an announcement on it. So stay tuned for that announcement too. See you later. Bye.